Father Carlos Martins has stared into the abyss. As a trained exorcist, he has confronted the purest form of evil imaginable, demonic possession. His journey into the heart of darkness began with an unshakable faith. Father Martins knows with absolute certainty that the devil is real. He has seen the devil's handiwork firsthand. He has heard the guttural voices. He has witnessed the inhuman strength. These encounters have not shaken his faith. They have solidified it. Father Martins is a warrior in God's army, locked in an unending battle against the forces of darkness. He knows the stakes are high. This is a fight for the very souls of the possessed. Many believe the movie The Exorcist is just a horror film. They think it's a fictional story designed to scare audiences. But Father Martins knows better. He has seen the reality behind the fiction. While Hollywood exaggerates for entertainment, the core truth remains. Demonic possession is a terrifying reality. The movie captures the raw power of evil. It shows the devastating effects on the possessed and those around them. Father Martins uses the film as a cautionary tale. It reminds us that evil is real and can manifest in horrifying ways. The devil is not a myth or a metaphor. He is a living entity who seeks to possess and destroy. One case in particular stands out in Father Martins's memory. It involved a middle-aged woman named Sarah. She was plagued by an insatiable hunger, but not for food. Sarah craved raw meat, specifically human flesh. During the exorcism, her voice changed. It became a deep, guttural growl, spewing blasphemies and threats. Sarah's eyes turned completely black. The air grew heavy as if a storm were brewing inside the room. Father Martins describes the physical struggle as something akin to wrestling a wild animal. Sarah thrashed and contorted her body in ways that seemed humanly impossible. It took several people to restrain her. Then there was Cheryl, a young woman tormented by voices whispering dark secrets. These weren't just any whispers. They spoke of death and decay, urging Cheryl to harm herself and others. Cheryl developed an unhealthy fascination with dead animals. She would collect their carcasses, bringing them into her home. The stench of death permeated her apartment, a chilling sign of the darkness that had taken root in her soul. The voices grew stronger, pushing Cheryl towards the brink of madness. Father Martins knew he had to act fast. The line between sanity and possession was fading. Cheryl was on the verge of being lost forever. Section 5. The Firefighter's Inferno. Jeremy, a brave firefighter, found himself battling a different kind of inferno. He had faced countless blazes, each one more ferocious than the last, but nothing could prepare him for the emotional and psychological firestorm that was about to consume him. After witnessing a horrific fire that claimed the lives of several children, Jeremy became withdrawn and distant. The sight of the charred remains of toys and the haunting cries of the children echoed in his mind, leaving him in a state of perpetual torment. Nightmares plagued his sleep, and strange symbols began appearing in his journal. His once strong faith crumbled. Each night he would wake up drenched in sweat, his heart pounding as if he had just run a marathon. The symbols, which he couldn't remember writing, seemed to mock his sanity. Jeremy lashed out at his loved ones, accusing them of conspiring with the devil. His family, once his pillar of strength, now seemed like strangers. The arguments grew more frequent and intense, driving a wedge between him and those he cared about the most. He claimed to see demons lurking in the shadows, their eyes burning with malevolent intent. These apparitions would appear at the most unexpected moments, leaving him paralyzed with fear. The line between reality and hallucination blurred, making it difficult for Jeremy to trust his own senses. Father Martins recognized the signs of post-traumatic stress disorder but sensed something more sinister at play. He had seen many cases of PTSD, but Jeremy's condition seemed to be exacerbated by an unexplainable, dark presence. The priest decided to delve deeper, seeking both spiritual and psychological help for Jeremy. The intensity of Jeremy's fear, the graphic nature of his visions, pointed towards a darker force exploiting his vulnerability. It was as if an unseen entity was feeding off his trauma, amplifying his fears and pushing him to the brink of madness. The battle Jeremy faced was no longer just against the fires he fought in the physical world, but against the inferno raging within his soul. Section 6. Music Box of Madness. This is a tale that delves into the eerie and the unknown. where even the most innocent-looking objects can harbor dark secrets. Even inanimate objects can become vessels of evil. The story of this particular music box is a chilling reminder of that unsettling truth. Father Martins encountered this chilling truth firsthand with a seemingly innocuous antique music box. It was a relic that seemed to carry the weight of centuries, its melodies whispering secrets of the past. Brought back from Afghanistan by a soldier, the music box played a haunting melody that filled the soldier's home with dread. The soldier, hoping to bring back a piece of history, instead brought back a piece of darkness. Unexplained noises plagued the house at night. The creaking of floorboards, the whisper of voices, and the rustling of unseen entities became a nightly occurrence. Objects moved on their own. Chairs would be found in different positions, and small items would disappear only to reappear in odd places. The soldier's family felt a constant sense of being watched. The feeling of unseen eyes following their every move became an unbearable weight on their shoulders. When the music box was opened, a strange, sulfurous smell filled the air. It was a scent that seemed to come from the depths of the earth, a harbinger of something malevolent. Inside, etched on the bottom of the box, was an inscription in an unknown language. The characters were ancient and foreboding, hinting at a dark origin. Father Martins recognized it as a demonic sigil, a symbol used to invoke dark forces. He knew that this was no ordinary artifact, but a conduit for something far more sinister. Determined to rid the family of this evil, Father Martins performed an exorcism. He sprinkled holy water on the music box, chanting prayers to banish the dark entity. The family watched with a mix of hope and fear, praying that the priest's efforts would free them from the music box's malevolent grip. After the exorcism, the music box was sealed in a wooden crate and buried deep underground, far away from any living soul. Peace finally returned to the soldier's home. The oppressive atmosphere lifted, and the family could once again live without fear. But some say, on quiet nights, you can still hear the faint melody of the music box, a reminder that some evils can never truly be buried. Section 7. The Science of Evil. The scientific community often dismisses demonic possession as mental illness. They point to conditions like schizophrenia or dissociative identity disorder as explanations for the seemingly supernatural. Father Martins acknowledges the role of science. He understands the complexities of the human mind. However, he argues that science cannot explain everything. There is a spiritual realm that exists beyond the reach of microscopes and brain scans. He believes that demonic possession is a very real phenomenon, distinct from any known mental illness. The symptoms may share some similarities, but the root cause is fundamentally different. Section 8. Unwavering faith. Despite facing skepticism and ridicule, Father Martins remains steadfast in his beliefs. He has seen the evidence with his own eyes. He has felt the presence of evil. He knows the truth. Each exorcism takes its toll, both physically and emotionally. Father Martins has been scratched, bitten, and even choked by those he's trying to help. Yet, he persists, driven by his unwavering faith and his compassion for the possessed. He understands the risks involved in his line of work. He knows that battling demons comes with a price. But Father Martins is not deterred. He is a soldier of God, fighting for the souls of the innocent. Section 9. The devil is real. The devil is real. This is not a mere figment of imagination or a tale spun to scare children. It is a stark reality that many have come to face in the most harrowing of circumstances. This is not a statement of fear, but of fact. The presence of evil is palpable, and its manifestations are as varied as they are terrifying. From the whispers in the dark to the shadows that seem to move on their own, the signs are there for those who dare to look. Father Carlos Martins knows this truth deep in his soul. He has seen the face of evil, felt its cold breath, and heard its sinister laughter. His journey into the heart of darkness began many years ago, and since then, he has been a relentless warrior against the forces that seek to corrupt and destroy. He has dedicated his life to fighting the darkness, to freeing those enslaved by evil. Each exorcism he performs is a battle, a struggle between light and dark, good and evil. The toll it takes on him is immense, but the relief and gratitude of those he saves make it all worthwhile. His stories serve as a chilling reminder that the world is not always as it seems. The everyday can hide the extraordinary, and the mundane can mask the malevolent. The tales he tells are not just stories, They are warnings, lessons, and calls to vigilance. There are forces at work beyond our understanding, forces that can corrupt the innocent and drag them into the abyss. But there is hope. There is faith. In the face of such overwhelming darkness, it is easy to feel powerless, but Father Martins reminds us that we are never truly alone. And there are those like Father Martins, warriors of the light, who stand ready to confront the darkness. They are the unsung heroes, the silent guardians who walk among us, armed with their faith and their unwavering resolve. They remind us that no matter how deep the shadows, the light will always find a way to shine through. They are a beacon of hope in a world teetering on the edge of chaos. Their courage and dedication inspire us to stand firm, to hold on to our faith, and to believe that, in the end, good will triumph over evil. The devil is real, but so is the power of light,